Sahana bhavatu sahanau bhunaktu saha viryam karavavahai tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May Brahman protect us, may he guide us, may he give us strength and right understanding. May love and harmony be with us all. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. Vedantasara, the quintessence of Vedanta. In our last class, we discussed a little bit about introduction. I take refuge in the self, the indivisible, the existence, consciousness, bliss absolute, beyond the reach of words and thought, and the substratum of all, for the attainment of my cherished desire. The author of this book is Sadananda Yogendra, a great Vedanta teacher of the 16th century. He first took refuge in the self, the Atman, so that he can accomplish the task he has undertaken. He wanted to write a book for his students. He took refuge. Generally, they invoke the gods or goddesses. They pray so that his mission will be fulfilled without any obstruction, without any obstacles. It is a tradition. A Vedanta teacher must invoke the deity, God. His chosen deity is the Atman, not any god or goddess. You see, in Vedanta, there is personal God as well as impersonal God. So Atman is impersonal. Now he is trying to get the blessing of his Guru. Verse 2, Arthatupi Advaita Advaita Vedanta Guru Naradha Vedantasaram Vaikshi Yathamiti. Having worshipped the Guru, who, on account of his being free from the illusion of duality, justifies the meaning of his name Advaita, I undertake the task of expounding the essence of the Vedanta according to my light. It is extremely important in Vedantic tradition to be initiated by a Guru. If you go to anybody, if you am a monk, first they will ask, who is your Guru? Who taught you Vedanta? In this way, the moment you mention your Guru's name, they know that whether you are educated properly or not, whether you know the tradition or not. Immediately people know who is your Guru, who is your teacher. For example, if you ask Ravi Shankar, the famous Shetarist, who is your Guru? He will immediately bow down to Alauddin Khan, that Muslim. He is my Guru. All India knows about that man. He was a genius. He was one of the greatest musicians in the world, you may say, in India especially. He met Sri Ramakrishna. He was before the Jatra theatre performance, there are some musicians, they do a concert. And he was then a young boy, a teenage boy, he used to play concert in Girish's theatre. And that man was a Ravi Shankar's Guru and father-in-law also. First they will ask, who is your Guru, who is your teacher, whether you are properly trained or not. So, the author of this book is introducing himself. mentioning his guru's name. My guru is Advaita. Advaita Dvaita Bhanataha. He was an illumined teacher. Duality vanished from his heart forever. Arthatopi Advaita. He was not only Advaita, means the person who gets bliss of his non-dual self. Not only by name he is Advaita, but through experience he is an illumined teacher. I am instructed by him. If you have a powerful guru, then you can feel that same power has been transmitted inside you. Sri Ramakrishna's disciple, they used to say, we are all instructed by Sri Ramakrishna and Avatar. The disciples of the direct disciple, they would say, I am Brahmananda's disciple. I am Vivekananda's disciple. They feel tremendous power inside. Because these teachers are very exceptional teachers. They are not so-called ordinary teachers. So he is telling, my guru is very powerful. He is an illumined teacher. Now sometimes, in the West, I sometimes say that it is not in the Western tradition that guru, ishta, mantra. It is very important to venture, to penetrate into deep spiritual life. First of all, diksha. Guru gives initiation. Do you know what does the diksha do to a person? There are 3 kinds of impurities in human beings. The first impurity is called anubhamala. An individual soul thinks, I am very tiny, small. I have so many imperfections. I am very small. Oh no, I am a minute person. I am a, ordinary human being. This feeling that I am a man or I am a woman, I am an American, in this way, we feel all the time we are limited. That is the first obstruction. The first impurity comes in human beings to think himself or herself as finite, limited. So Guru knocks out first that idea, Tattvamasi. You are Brahman, you are the Atman, infinite. Swamiji in one of his lectures said, Madam, it is a great mistake that you think that you are an American and you are a woman. Why are you limiting your infinite nature? That is Guru's job. First, he will make you feel that you are really infinite. Second, comes, they call it karmiya mal. Mal means impurities come through action. The moment you think you are finite, you are small, you are, imperfect, in that moment, your desire comes, good desire, bad desire, which forces you to do good action, bad action, and that produces 3 things. First, jati, ayu, bhoga. Birth, longevity, how long you will live, in what way you will be born, and bhoga, experience of happiness and unhappiness. If you do good, you will be happy. If you do not do good, you will be unhappy. That type of feeling comes to a person. The third, maik mal, maya, delusion, confusion. We cannot make decision. We get confused, deluded. We get tempted, hypnotized. So initiation helps to remove this kind of imperfections. Initiation, what do they say? जिस देवी परा भक्ति यथा देवी तथा गुरु तैस्य ही ता कुथिता अर्था प्रकाशन्ते महात्मना. he who has devotion for God as well as for the Guru, to that soul the truth manifests. Adore your teacher like God. Guru, there are three words are there, Ga, Ra, U. Ga indicates Siddhidatritva. He will give you perfection. Second, Ra, Papodahokatva. That initiation, that mantra will destroy all of your sins. Third, U, Palokatva. It will protect you. It will give you perfection. Guru gives perfection. He destroys sin and he protects. There is another meaning of the Guru. Ga means darkness, Ru means remover, destroyer. He who removes darkness is the teacher. For the reason we read in the Guru Gita, Guru is Brahma, Guru is Vishnu, Guru is Shiva, Guru is supreme reality. I bow down to my Guru. So the teacher, Sadananda, first invoked his chosen deity, that is the Atman, Brahman, Satchidananda. Second, he invoked his Guru, Advaita. And now he says that, after getting training from my Guru, I heard all these scriptures. Then I reflected. And now, out of my own experience, I am going to explain this scripture to you. But if there is any fault or anything, that is not my Guru's fault. Jata saddham bhakshei. According to my understanding, according to my intellect, I am going to expound this Vedanta to you. If there is any fault, it is mine, not my Guru, not my Ishto. He is showing his humility. Jata saddham. According to my light, according to my understanding, according to my reflection, I am going to explain this scripture to you. The profound mystery of Vedanta should not be given to one whose passions have not been subdued, not to one who is not a son or a disciple. Christ said, don't throw the pearls in front of this swine. There is a beautiful verse in the Muktika Upanishad. The Brahmavidya, the knowledge of Brahman, came to the illumined teachers and requesting them, please don't speak indiscriminately to each and all about us. We shall not be able to bear the result. You must check first the students. We are going to discuss that who are the true students of Vedanta. You must have the training. Without training, how can you know? First, you will have to be a student. It is not easy to become a student of Vedanta. Very difficult. We shall come when we will find the qualification of a student. Same thing. It is not easy to become a teacher either. You do not know what will you teach. Some people may know the word's meaning. They can expound the scriptures. I remember there was a Pundit, a Sanskrit teacher, a great scholar. He used to come and teach Vedanta to the monks. So one senior monk was asking him, getting lessons from you, it is hard for us to keep the monks in the monastery. They run away. They go to the Himalayas, out of renunciation. They even renounce the monastery. Do you feel that way? He said, no. I have wife and children. I teach because for money. This is my profession, vocation. I don't have that kind of... I know the scripture very well, but I don't have that experience. I don't feel that kind of dispassion for the world and love for God. I teach for money. For the reason I remember when I started to study, if I want to study Vedanta, I shall go to a monk. Those who practice Vedanta. They can give you conviction. I remember our teachers, when he used to speak, we could feel that what true Vedanta is. And your mind will be so uplifted, unbelievable. After the class, we would feel that we are not walking, we are just flying. Yatha khananam khunitrena naro bari odigachyati epam gurugatam vidyam shushrusa odigachyati. Suppose you want to bring water to your field, you are cutting a tunnel or a canal from the reservoir or the river or a canal. The more you cut, the water flows you. You are making that channel and the water flows and water follows as you cut. Similarly, if you serve your Guru, all his learning, all his wisdom will come to the disciple. You must serve your teacher. I remember sometimes I wanted to serve my teacher. In training center, you are supposed to serve your teacher. One person will give him personal service. So I applied for that. And I want to serve you. He looked at me and said, no, you will not have to serve me. Why? With that kind of personal service, to bring fixed breakfast for him or to do any washing his clothes or cleaning his bathroom, all these things. I wanted to do for him, he won't take service from me. Then he said, you will give me great service if you learn the Upanishads and Shankara's commentary. You go into your room and that is the way you will be able to serve me. So I had to go to my room and read the Upanishad with Shankara's commentary, knowing every word meaning of that book. But that way you can serve me. For cleaning my bathroom or washing my clothes, there are other boys are there. You go and do this. But I am grateful to that, my teacher. He sometimes used to wait for me till 9:30, 10 o'clock in front of my room, because we used to, after serving food, nearly 200 monks, then I used to take the food in the second batch. When I would come back to my room, it will be nearly 10 o'clock. Then here I saw that he was waiting for me in front of my room. No, Maharaj, you were waiting for me? Yes, you see, this thing I could not explain during my class. The mystery is here. He was explaining the mystery which he could not tell me during my class. That, if a If a real teacher finds a real student, he wants that I must give my everything to my student because that student will carry my message. Sri Ramakrishna emptied the entire power to Vivekananda so that he will carry his message. Swamiji said that, in the West, I conquered, people's hearts through my power. No, it is my Guru's power. My Guru worked through me. The Upanishad, another name of the Upanishad is called Agama. Guru Mukhat Agachyati iti Agama. The thing which comes from the lips of the Guru, that is called Agama. Remember, 4,000-5,000 years ago, there was no book. The Guru would recite the Vedas, and the disciples would listen and memorize. Then they would recite, the next generation would learn. In this way, generation after generation, these Vedic teachings came to us. It is all comes from the Guru. One must be devoted to the Guru if you want wisdom. Even in your secular life, as a good doctor, you send your sons and daughters to the best schools in this country. Why? Because they will be properly trained. They will get good education. Oh, I got my degree from the Harvard. I got my degree from Washington University in St. Louis Medical School. Very good, it has a very good reputation. And if you say, I got an education from third class, fourth class university, you will not get a job here. Guru is very important in his spiritual life. And one must obey one's Guru. So he invoked his chosen deity, that is the Atman. He invoked his Guru. Now Sadananda Yogendra wants to tell us about the subject matter of Vedanta. He says, Vedantasara Guru Narada Vedantasara Bakshi Jatamuti Vedantasara. I shall tell you about the quintessence of Vedanta. What is Vedanta? Now he is going to tell us. Vedanto nama Upanishad pramanam tadupakarini sharirako sutra dini cha. Vedanta is the evidence of the Upanishads as well as the Shariraka Sutras and other books that help in the correct expounding of its meaning. Vedanta. Veda means, you may say, the scripture. Anta means end. The end of the Vedas is called Vedanta. There are 4 Vedas: Rig Veda, Sama Veda, Yajur Veda, Atharva Veda. Each Veda has 4 sections: Mantra, Brahmana, Aranyaka, and Upanishad. Mantra are the hymns. The Vedic seers of truth, sages, they invoke the gods and goddesses through hymns, music, song, hymnal, hymn. This is the way they invoked. Second, Brahmana. Mantra is in poetry. All great truth first manifests through poetry. Second, Brahmana. Prose, rituals, sacrifices. How to, the practical demonstration of the Vedas. Third, Aranyaka. Aranyaka means you go to the forest and you meditate and pray. And the last part is called Upanishad, the philosophical aspect of the Vedas. But not all Upanishads are at the end of the Vedas. Some Upanishads are maybe in the middle. For example, Isha Upanishad, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, they are not at the end of the Yajur Veda or Rig Veda. Isha Upanishad is the part of the Rig Veda and Brihadaranyaka Upanishad is the part of the Yajur Veda. They are not at the end, somewhere in the middle. So it says, not necessarily it will have to be at the end. Do you know what does it mean? Through this singing, glorifying God, then through practicing ritual, then through prayer and meditation, your mind is purified. At that time only you will understand what is Vedanta. So you go through this process, mantra, brahmana, aranyaka. Go through this process, then at the end you will be able to understand what is Upanishad. The highest philosophy, the highest truth. No doctrine, no dogma, no ritual. You know, sometimes I ask people, read Upanishads. It will make you strong. It will destroy all your narrowness, bigotry, superstitions. It will awaken your consciousness. Before you do anything, you first ask your conscience. They call it viveka. Are you doing right? Tell me. You are going to do these things. Is it right? At that time you will hear the voice of your indwelling self, your Atman. Whenever you do anything, you ask yourself, am I doing right? Don't make any hasty decision. Ask yourself. You will hear the voice of God. Your viveka is God Himself. At that time, do you know what happens? If you do right, you will be strong. And if you do not right, you will feel weak. I did not do right. Your conscience will tell you. Human beings are not stupid, believe me. Some are get deluded, confused, because they did not know how to discriminate between the real and the unreal. The power of discrimination is very low. A guru awakens that power of discrimination. Ask yourself. Swamiji gave a beautiful, I like that definition. What is truth? Friend, that which make you strong, that is truth. What is untruth? Friend, that which make you weak, that is untruth. Reject it as poison. When you do something, your conscience will fight. I'm not doing right. I'm not doing right. Even your small actions, your small decisions, your small, conversation with your friends, your conscience will tell you you did right. The moment you did right, you get joy. I did right. Who tells that thing? Your conscience. That is your Atman. That is God. That talks, we call it Antarjami, the indwelling self. That God tells us that you did right. If this faculty is awakened, do you know what will happen? You will always fight for perfection. That is the goal of human life. Fight for perfection. I must be perfect. That is the way Swami Vivekananda defined religion. Religion is the manifestation of perfection already in human beings. That perfection is your divinity. Vedanta Nama Upanishad. As they say, as the oil pervades in the sesame seed, similarly, this Upanishad pervades in all Vedas, the wisdom. It may be safely asserted that the Vedanta is the main objective and final aim the cream and essence, the guiding spirit and shaping force, in a word, the nisus formativus of the Vedas. Upanishad. Upa means near, ni means definitely, certainly, shad means destroys, ignorance. There are three meanings of the Upanishad. Shankara discussed these things in the very beginning of the Katha Upanishad in his commentary. First, the moment you go near the Atman, that pure consciousness, your ignorance, darkness disappears. That is the first meaning. Second meaning, this Upanishad will definitely take this individual soul to God and destroys the difference between Jiva and Brahman. This unitive knowledge comes through Upanishad. Third, from this Maya, this ignorance and this individual soul, this Jivatma, they are together for time immemorial. But this Upanishad uproots this ignorance and separates the Atman from ignorance. That is called self-knowledge. Upanishad. As I said, it comes from the Guru Parampara. You may say, Swami, what is your tradition? Do you know what is our tradition? Brahma, the creator, gave this knowledge to his son, Vashishta. Vashishta gave this knowledge to his son, Shakti. Shakti gave this knowledge, this wisdom of the Upanishad to Parashara. From Parashara, it came to Vyasa. From Vyasa, it came to Shukadeva. Shukadeva did not have any child, but his disciple was Gaudapada. Gaudapada gave this knowledge to his disciple, Govindapada. Govindapada gave this knowledge to Shankara. And from Shankara came 10 monastic orders in India. So this wisdom came from Shankara, who was the 7th or 8th century Vedanta teacher. So it came from that source to Sri Ramakrishna. Then from Sri Ramakrishna to Brahmananda, Brahmananda to Shankarananda, Swami Satprakashananda, then it came to us. So if you ask us, Swami, what is the link? We can say that it came from the very origin, from the source, from the creator. They have a Rishi Vangsha. If you read the Chandogya Upanishad, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, how the wisdom comes from which person to which person. There is a long list of the Guru and the disciple, Guru and the disciple. It is an amazing. Same thing we find in the Bible. This person begat, in the very beginning of the New Testament, you will find after 42 or 43 begat came Jesus. That is the way it goes. Parampara. You will find this person begat Omuk, this person begat Omuk. What he says? Vedanta nama Upanishad praman, evidence. Evidence, the Sanskrit word pramana literally means the instrument of prama or knowledge. The Vedanta philosophy acknowledges the following 6 classes of evidences. First is called pratyaksha, direct perception. I see this chair. It is an evidence. Pratyaksha. My sense perception, I see this chair. So I have the knowledge of this chair. Second, the Charvakas, the materialists, only believe this kind of evidence. Sense perception. If I do not see, if I do not touch, if I cannot hear, if I do not taste, if I do not smell, it does not exist. They are all materialists, always remember. Second, anumana, inference. How does it come? You have previous knowledge. Where there is a smoke, there is fire. Parvato Bunniman Dhumat, I see a fire on the top of this forest park. I do not see the fire, but I see the smoke. Seeing the smoke, I infer, I guess that there is fire. My previous knowledge says, wherever there is fire, wherever there is a smoke, there is fire. Such as in the kitchen, but not in the American kitchen, you see. American kitchen is different. You have gas, you have electricity, you do not have any smoke. Perhaps Indian authors, seeing the wooden stove, they talked about it. Anyhow. So, who believe these two kinds of inferences? I told you the first school are these materialists. The second is they believe two evidences, perception, inference. They are all Buddhas and the Jainas. The Buddhists and the Jainas believe two kinds of evidence. 3, Shabda, sound. Scriptural phenomenon, scriptural statement, Shabda Praman. Tattvamasi, you are thou art that. Sound. Sound is the evidence. Two schools, the Sankhya and Yoga, believe these three kinds of evidences: perception, inference, and sound. Fourth, comparison, analogy, anumana. Upamana. Upamana means analogy. What is analogy? Seeing a cow, the teacher told you that similar types of animals you will find in the forest. They are called gobaya. They have like a blanket, near their neck, and they are similar like cow. So seeing this cow, you go to the forest and see that animal, immediately through analogy you get the wisdom, knowledge that this animal is called gobaya, a kind of cow species, That is called upamana. Then it is very interesting to know that how these different schools understand differently. Then comes postulations or presumption. Pino Devodatto Divana Bhunti. This fat Devodatto does not eat at daytime. That does not mean he does not eat at night time. Otherwise his fatness cannot be proved, you see. So in this way, this is called inference, that this person is fat, this Devodatto, he must eat at night time. Though he says that he does not stay and he does not eat at daytime. So this is Mimamsa school, the ritualistic school, believe these 5 kinds of evidence. Then last is called Anupalabdhi, non-apprehension. There is no jar on this floor. It is called one evidence. There is no jar. I cannot feel, I cannot see any jar on this floor. This is Anupalabdhi in a negative way. So Vedanta believes there are 6 kinds of evidences which can produce knowledge. But Swami, what is the necessity of discussing these things? Do you know why? If you read Swami Shat Prakashan, those methods of knowledge, you will understand the purpose of this discussion. Because you want to find an evidence whether God exists or not. So there are various methods you can approach. Can you see God through the sense perception? No. Can you infer? No. Can you presume? No. Or yes. whatever, can you in these various ways they will tell you that which one works, which one does not work. At last, do you know which one will work? Shabda, sound. We shall discuss these things later. When Guru will say, Tattvamasi, you are Brahman. How can I be Brahman? How can I be God? Swami Vivekananda had the same problem. When Sri Ramakrishna said God is in everything, in every being, Vivekananda did not believe it. He was arguing with Sri Ramakrishna. Pot is God, jar is God, this fan is God, this thing is God, which is all nonsense. Sri Ramakrishna came out from his room and asked him, what do you say? He got that touch. When he went home, he saw that his mother served food. That food was Brahman, full of consciousness. His mother was seated. He saw that his mother was consciousness. He could not eat. His mother was telling, what happened to you? Are you sick? Then he started to eat again. Then he went out. He was crossing the street. He saw the cars are coming. He said, why should I move? Those cars are Brahman. Then he went to the park and he was bumping his head on the iron railings and he was thinking, this is Brahman. Later he realized that it's Sri Ramakrishna, this experience of non-dual Brahman is not fantasy, it is real. We shall discuss these things, more about this evidence. Vedanta Nama, so you know what is Vedanta Nama? Upanishad Pramanam, Tadupokarini, Sharirako Sutradini. Vedanta, whole Vedanta depends on a tripod. The first is called Upanishad, revealed scripture. Second is called Shariraka Sutra, Brahma Sutra, Bhikshu Sutra. That is reasoned truth. And third is Bhagavad Gita. That is practical truth. Practical truth, reasoned truth, revealed truth. Now Upanishad, you now guess what is Upanishad? That you know Rig Veda. There are 108 Upanishads are there in Vedanta tradition. According to Muktika Upanishad, I have a book, there are 189 Upanishads are there. Anyhow, there are some small Upanishads which came into existence in later period. Shariraka Sutra, Shariraka, Shorir means body. Shariraka, the person who dwells in the body is called Sharira. Akprata, Sharirak Sutra. Who dwells inside your body? The individual jeev, your individual soul. That individual soul is Brahman. This Brahma Sutra, that book, there are 555 aphorisms in Brahma Sutra, which was written by Vyasa, the great sage. He compiled the 4 Vedas, Vyasa. He wrote the Brahma Sutra, and he wrote the Mahabharata. Gita is the part of the Mahabharata. And he wrote 18 Puranas, the great sage Vyasa. So Vyasa, it is called Vyasa Sutra. Sutra means aphorisms. Written by Vyasa. It is called Shariraka Sutra. The sutras, the aphorisms, which will prove that human souls are nothing but God, Brahman. It is called Bhikshu Sutra. Bhikshu means mendicants. This Vedanta literature was studied and practiced by the mendicants. So it is called Bhikshu Sutra. Bhikshu means Bhikshu means actually beggar, mendicants, monks. They practiced it in the forest, in the mountain caves. It is also called Brahma Sutra. Sutra means also thread. If you hold this aphorism, it will take you to Brahman, God. So it has many names. Vyasa Sutra, Brahma Sutra, Bhikshu Sutra, Shariraka Sutra. Same book, 4 names. Shariraka Sutra Dini cha. This is also part of Vedanta. Adipade, etc. Etc. means Bhagavad Gita, the commentaries of Shankara. All these things are included in this Vedanta. So what is Vedanta? Vedanta is the Upanishads. Vedanta includes Brahma Sutra, Shariraka Sutra. Vedanta includes Bhagavad Gita and other books which describe this individual soul is nothing but Brahman. You may ask Swami, some people study Vedanta, still they do not get the knowledge of Brahman. Why? There are 2 reasons. First, they call it Asambhavana. Second is Viparit Bhavana. If your Guru says, you are God, you are Brahman, the first reaction comes to the student's mind, it is impossible. I am Chetanananda, I have parents, father, mother, brother, sister, I am such and such, I am a limited, finite human being, I have so many imperfections, how can I be Brahman? The first reaction comes, it is impossible. Asambhavana. Do you know why? Because a Chetananda's mind is not pure enough. Because of my imperfection, because of the impurities of the mind, I could not grasp the teaching of my Guru. First reaction is impossible. Second reaction, Viparit Bhavana. We think something different. It is impossible and it is different. Different means, I am such and such person, I am a Swami, I am a minister of the Vedanta Society, I am this, I am a monk of the Ramakrishna Ajare. This is called superimposition on the Atman. Actually, I am Atman, pure consciousness, but I superimposed all these titles and my limitations, my body weight, my mind, and all these things. My qualifications, my status, my profession, all these things I superimposed and I buried my real self because of the uncleanness, impurities of my mind. A Vedanta the teacher removes all these imperfections, impurities, so that your Atman can manifest itself. You see, sometimes, do you know how do I feel a Guru and disciple? If somebody tied you with a handcuff and he locks it, can you open it? You need help. You need help. So we are all tied by our desires, by our attachments. And these desires and attachments are not coming only this life, millions of lives. They are coming from millions of lives, this attachment, bondage, ignorance, thick layer of ignorance. We need some person, we need a great teacher who can cut these things. If you have cataract, what will happen? Thick layer of cataract, you will see almost blind. Swami, I see hazy, I cannot see anything. At the time, what do? You go to a good eye surgeon. He will remove your cataract through laser or through knife, through surgical operation. He can remove it and then you can see, oh Swami, I see so clear. We need a teacher who can remove this thick layer of darkness, ignorance from our minds. You see, there are 4 kinds of grace. Ishwar Kripa, God's grace. Guru Kripa, grace of the Guru. Shastra Kripa, grace of the scriptures. Atma Kripa, grace of the Atman, your own self. Up to this tonight, if you have any questions, please ask.
Swami, what does the Guru protect us from?
From various kinds of problems of life. Well, let me give examples. Swami Chetanananda was practicing meditation, took instruction from Holy Mother, and he was meditating on this chakra, on the crown. And he used to practice meditation 14-15 hours a day. And he was almost out of mind. Sick, blank. He went several people, nobody could find out his problem. Sick. Came tremendous depression. So he went to Holy Mother. Holy Mother asked, "Tell me, what do you do? How do you meditate?" "I meditate here." My goodness. That is the meditation for the last, that is the final stage. My son, next 3 months or 6 months, she told, do not meditate, do not repeat mantra, only you eat and sleep. And my son, in a monastery, there is no good food available. You go home. It is heartbreaking for a monk to return home. Shh. Shall I have to go back again home? No, son, please go home. Your parents are rich, well-to-do. They will be able to provide good food to you. Oh, mother, we Guru protected. Otherwise, he would go astray. Something wrong happened, perhaps he would die. Guru protects. Guru protects in many ways. Sometimes, sometimes temptations comes, various kinds of things come to your life. Oh, my Guru. Mantra protects. As I said, the last time when I was in India, the Swami came and gave his reminiscences and record his reminiscences to me. He interviewed the Swami Vishuddhananda, Holy Mother's disciple. And Holy Mother's disciple told him that, do you like to hear the voice of your indwelling self? This is the way. Sometimes when you sit in the shrine, make your mind empty. At that time mind is completely unbalanced and free from, desires and doubts, and mind is simply calm, quiet, serene. Stop the thought waves of the mind through force. And then through resolution, strong resolution. Then ask, Lord, tell me, what shall I do? Lord, please tell me, what shall I do? You will find from indwelling self the thing which is good for you, beneficial for you, that thought will arise. That comes from that viveka, from conscience, from indwelling self. Don't make any decision. Just go and silently calm your mind and then ask yourself. Some people think that, if I go to a counselor, this and that, they help. I do not know that. I don't say they do not help. But it is from external. They are putting, they call auto-suggestion. They can ask you, how do you feel? You will hear only 1 hour, 2 hours, just to listen, that what is going on inside you. Then perhaps he will tell, do this, do that. Actually, he is adopting the same process. He would go inside and clear it from the bottom of your heart. If you know this is not right, you will not do that thing. You won't do. No, it is harmful for me, I shall not do it. If somebody says, this is arsenic, jet poison, or potassium cyanide, have it. Oh no, I know. Potassium cyanide, if you put on the tongue, you will die instantly. I am not going to touch it. See? Your strong reaction will come from inside. I cannot take it. I shall not take it. I love myself. Guru protects. As the parents protect their children, Guru protects their children. Only when the Guru dies, who will protect? That I was telling you, that one Swami, I was reading a book called Shonar Manush, a golden man, a disciple of Holy Mother's biography. When Virajanandaji's disciples died, Virajananda died, the disciples are crying. The Swami said, why are you crying? We read the great master and the gospel, they are the Guru. Your Guru entered in those 2 books. The Ramakrishna, the great master, and the gospel are Ramakrishna. Your Guru entered there. Read and then close your eyes and hear the voice from within. You will get the answer. A running around, jumping around is not the solution. It is not the solution. We have infinite power. Sometimes we do not know how to study our own minds. You will have to come. Niralamba Valamba Madhyama Sthiro Bhava. Hold this Atman. Immediately your mind will come. How to hold it? You will have to be desireless first. Otherwise you cannot touch the Atman. Mind is continuously like this. How can you touch the Atman? Impossible. Calm down.
On many occasions, as well as in books, you've spoken about how helpful faith is. Tonight we were talking about types of knowledge. Is there a correlation between faith and knowledge? Is it like the type of knowledge of presuming?
You see, faith, always remember, faith. Oh, he was asking, the question he asked. Please repeat the question again.
Well, that faith is very important.
Yes.
To have. And tonight we were talking about types of knowledge. So is there a correlation between faith and knowledge?
There is a correlation between faith and knowledge. Knowledge comes, you see, faith comes from experience. how do I know whether I shall have faith in you or not? I must live with you. Then if I see that, if I am convinced that you are a really faithful person, then I can have faith in you, It comes from experience. Without experience, faith does not come. I do not know a stranger. I cannot give my, ask, come and just stay with me. I must know this person. So from experience comes faith. Now, the knowledge which we are talking about today, this is called the methods of knowledge. That 6 ways we can know a thing. But this thing, knowing, sense perception, this knowledge is not the highest knowledge. These are all the lower knowledge of the cosmos, this and that. What is the highest knowledge? That will come later. That knowledge of oneness, where there is all duality goes away. There are 2 types of knowledge, lower knowledge and higher knowledge. Lower knowledge, the Rig Veda, Samaveda, Yajurveda, Atharva Veda, all these things are lower knowledge. Knowledge of the created principle. And what is higher knowledge? Uncreated, Brahman.